me and Miles were just talking about this. Like, we're just gonna buy like a very, very random Pacers player jersey. Miles said he's picking CJ Miles. Who did I say? Who did I say I was picking?
Oh
Jalen Rose. I
man,
said I'm buying a Jalen Rose
Jalen
jersey.
Rose. That would be tough. Yeah, we
Like, I
just
feel
went
like
on our rant of going through deep cut Pacers players, but keep going, Kev.
I was pretty much wrapped up right there. It's like, yeah, not a lot of people own a Reggie Miller jersey.
GMLB family, welcome back to another episode of Good Morning Let's Basketball. I am your host, Mike Miles, aka Six Figure Mike. Also in the call is Big Macedonia and GMLB's Chief of Security. That's main event Kev. Kev, what's up?
Not a whole lot, man. Recent success of the Indianapolis Six has driven me to drink at Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and that's what's going on.
Also in the call is the self-proclaimed podcast equilibrium and viral Dunkin' barista. That's Daniel. Daniel. Daniel, long time no see, man. Welcome back to the pod.
Yeah, man. I had to take a hiatus. I had to lock in a little bit on everything so I could lock back into this. But yeah, the deal has been made. The dark magic has been sealed. Pacers in six.
Pacers in six. Okay. Starting off hot. And also finally in the call is the founder and the brains of operation. That's Victor. Victor, what is up?
How we doing, boys? Crazy the Pacers won.
Indubitably. Fellas, the Pacers are back. I got my Pacers shirt on. I've officially become Team Pacers. Unfortunately, I've departed from the hate train. I've picked against the Pacers in every series. I didn't think they would make it past the Bucks, and here we are. I feel like every episode we talk about how we doubt the Pacers. And I want to start us off with a question because I was talking to a Pacers fan yesterday, and we were having a debate on how many guards were better than Tyrese Haliburton. So I'm going to go through our list, okay? And I need you guys to stop me when I say someone who is worse than Tyrese Haliburton. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Kyrie Irving.
I think right there might be the cutoff. I think right now Tyrese is better than Kyrie.
Okay. I was hoping someone would cut me off there because that was what we were debated about. Steph Curry was on there too. So I forgot to say Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's obviously better.
I know we've had this conversation a couple times too, debating if Trae Young's better, if De'Aaron Fox is better. Those are the other two names that immediately came to my mind. I thought you were going to say them too in the list that you went here because I know we've talked about it. The Brunson one's tricky for me a little bit. I don't know if it's just like recency bias, but like we're not huge fans of Jalen Brunson either. So I don't know if that's just me hating. I might have to evaluate that one a little bit more. I think both of them are pretty useless on defense. But when it comes to offense, I don't know. Scoring, Brunson definitely has it. I don't know. That one's close. Really, really close for me.
Yeah, I think he landed Halliburton was seventh on the list. Eighth if you put Kyrie above him, but we were so on the fence about Kyrie Irving that we couldn't really come to a consensus on that. So I wanted your guys' input if you think Kyrie is better than Halliburton. Because it's just real quick, it's such a weird comparison considering that Kyrie, like this whole season, has been just a train wreck for the Mavericks with injuries. And then Kyrie also getting hurt at the end of the season and not really not that they were going to do much in the playoffs this season, but didn't get to even play in them. And then we see Halliburton, like what he's doing, and it's insane. Like there's no doubt that what he's doing is incredible, but how much of it is recency bias? Because Halliburton wasn't an all-star this year, don't forget. He had a really rough first half of the season. So that was what was on my mind when we were going to bring up Tyrese Haliburton today. Daniel and Vic, what do you think?
I also think that Halliburton is one of the hardest players in the NBA to rank. Just like whenever this question gets brought up, like where is he ranked in the point guards in the NBA, or where is he ranked for all of the NBA players in the NBA? Like is he top 15, top 10? I feel like it's just really hard to rank him just because his defense isn't there, and then I feel like his scoring's also a little bit inconsistent. There's some games where he can score the ball. He's proven that he can score it, but I just feel like his aggressiveness is just not there every night. And he is very clutch player, and he's shown that this playoffs. The Pacers team as a whole just don't give up. Just ranking him as a player, I just always find it so tough.
So where do you rank him though?
As on point guards,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like that where we stopped at Kyrie was good. I could also see the side of like arguing Kyrie, but I think Tyrese is getting there to where he's proven that he's better than Kyrie this postseason. But I do agree with the recency bias too. I mean, that plays a huge factor in these rankings and what people think too. And what he's done this playoffs has been magical.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with the group here and say that Tyrese is, but I also want to say that I kind of feel like this is an unfair question just because going into like next year, we have no idea what Kyrie's gonna look like. Right. And I think it's kind of unfair to compare because I can already hear, one of the comments being like, yeah, Tyrese Haliburton is better than Kyrie Irving, like and kind of using that as like an all time, comparing head to head. Um, so yeah, it to me it's not really fair. Like I said, we haven't even been able to see what Kyrie Irving's going to be able to do coming back from an injury like that. So I don't know. But I do think Tyrese is better this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to get too like hyped up and trigger happy with like the big moments that he's had and saying like if he's better than like this or that player. So like a lot of the big shots he's hit, a lot of people like take that and they're like, oh, this dude's like he's it. I heard a person in my office space recently this past week in the closeout game against New York when Tyrese had like the 30-point triple double with no turnovers. He was like, that was one of the best stat lines of all time. And I was like, no, it wasn't. Like
You're
I could think of 5 better stat lines off the head that I can spit out in 5 seconds without thinking about it. Maybe 10. There's several I can think of. And 10 of them would probably just be Jokic.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could think of 10 stat lines that Jokic did better himself, let alone everybody else in the world. But yeah, I mean, I think people might be getting a little too trigger happy with like the big shots and moments that he has hit. Like in game 1, for example, he didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have like an all-time game, which I feel like a lot of people are making it seem. Like the 14 points, a lot of the games where the Pacers have climbed back, some of the role players actually brought them back into that game. Where Neesmith decided to hit 6 threes in 5 minutes. Nemhard looking like Canada's best ever. Siakam doing his thing. So, and that's what role players are for, to get you back into the big games, kind of help. But it's worked so far. They'll get him back, and then he seals the deal. It's been working. Can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah,
Um,
your workplace consistently makes an appearance on this podcast as people who have the most outrageous basketball takes I've ever heard.
I'm
It's
I-
that
I'm
indie
gonna
bias.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit here, and like I can definitely see how Pacers fans would, because I mean they're calling him the chosen one. Like if you follow IU Barstool and Purdue Barstool, they're in agreement with each other, which they never are, that that Tyrese Haliburton is the chosen one, and I think it's hard to argue with success, like Donovan Mitchell is a name that honestly like did raise a like that was a one of the players that I think I was like, well, like is he? Because, Tyrese Halliburton at this point has led his team farther. Now, Pacers, obviously, there are a lot of key pieces there that make that happen, but Cleveland should have won. And Donovan Mitchell should have been able to lead them there. But, he did have some very poor performances, and I mean Tyrese has too, but I think yeah, like I said, it's hard to argue with success. It's hard to say I can definitely see someone arguing like, "Oh no, Tyrese is better because he's led his team farther." And he has been that go-to guy when they needed big shots in big moments, which is what the whole season is working up towards. So,
Mm.
I definitely don't think he's better than Donovan Mitchell.
hoopla.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
A
Like
bunch of malarkey.
bunch of malarkey. Not to bring up the whole like they've beaten injured teams, but like you got to go out there, you got to win and play who's in front of you. I get it. Just don't want people to get too hyped up about this. I saw our best friend Jeff Teague, Indianapolis native, born and raised. He was on a podcast a couple weeks ago. I believe it was his podcast. I don't know why I keep saying he was on a podcast, but he was saying people were asking him like, "Oh, are there like hella Pacers fans in Indianapolis?" And he was like, "Man, hell no. There's no Pacers fans near Indy. No one owns a freaking Reggie Miller jersey." And now that he said that, I've never seen someone wear a Reggie Miller jersey.
I
The
think I
guy's got a
have.
mural in town.
I see a lot of O'Neal jerseys.
The Jermaine on me. It's fun. Me and Miles were just talking about this. Like, we're just gonna buy like a very, very random Pacers player jersey. Miles said he's picking CJ Miles. Who did I say? Who did I say I was picking?
Oh
Jalen Rose. I
man,
said I'm buying a Jalen Rose
Jalen
jersey.
Rose. That would be tough. Yeah, we
Like, I
just
feel
went
like
on our rant of going through deep cut Pacers players, but keep going, Kev.
I was pretty much wrapped up right there. It's like, yeah, not a lot of people own a Reggie Miller jersey, and he's like the Prince of Indianapolis before this
I
D
I
bag came.
I have something to say about this. So, it kind of reminds me because we talked a lot about like small market teams, and I think I was talking to a friend last night that said that this game one of the playoffs, Thunder and Pacers, was I think the lowest like viewed finals in the last like 10 years. It was something ridiculous, right? So and yeah, we can fact check that and make sure that that's true. But it was one of the lowest viewed, I think the lowest
It
viewed
is.
finals game one in how long, Victor?
I think ever. I
Ever.
don't. I don't
Okay,
know.
so
I don't
yeah,
know. It was something.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to jump the gun and say ever, but I'm pretty sure it's ever, right?
Hold on. I can find it for you, man.
Okay. But the point that I'm getting at is that these are two small market teams, but from someone that, has seen the videos and been in, local bars in Indiana that has seen like the fans basically get so excited about this. It's really fun to see, but comparable to another city, say for example like Denver, um, when me and Vic went there, it you didn't get that kind of same care from I feel like from the people. And I think that kind of goes towards what's on Miles's shirt, which is in 49 other states, it's basketball, but this is Indiana. Um, so yeah, I mean, it is a small market team, but it means a lot to the fans here, and they rally behind their guys, and I think that that's why Pacers are looking dangerous, man. When you have that kind of like backing, I feel like from your fan base, it's a big thing. And Thunder has the same thing. So this is definitely they're not going to go out without a fight, but
So I found
I
it.
was
It said it averaged a 4.7 rating and an 8.91 million viewers on ABC, making it the lowest rated and least watched finals opener since tracking began in 1988, excluding COVID impacted 2021 and 2021 series.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that like this year's NBA Finals kind of lacks like that big name star, even though the MVP of the league is playing in it. But you kind of have to look at it through the eyes of like a casual viewer. NBA fans are going to watch the finals regardless. Now, the casual viewer, they'll be like, "Oh, LeBron make it? Damn, Curry? Nah, well, I don't really care anymore." So, like, casual viewer, yeah, they're gonna complain. They complain that the fight's the same two teams every year, but then it's two different teams. They'll be like, "Oh, well, where's LeBron and Curry or whoever, KD? Doesn't matter." Like, it's kind of it's really stupid. But I was really excited for this finals. I think Game One cooked for sure. I think the rest of the series is going to be like that. But as far as viewers and stuff, This was the finals I was really hoping for. I saw a lot of people polling for New York to make it, and I was like, please, let's not let that happen. And if it was a New York, if it was genuinely was a New York Minnesota series, would I have watched it? Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I wouldn't have, but I would have been very, very disinterested and probably would have been on my phone during the entirety of the game.
I don't really think that the reason why everybody or didn't want to watch this finals was because it was small market teams, whatever. I think a lot of people went into this series thinking that Thunder were gonna absolutely sweep the Pacers or a gentleman sweep. And since the Pacers stole game one, which in a game which they should have lost, realistically, they played horrible. Um, that just nobody expected that, and a lot of people thought that going in, the Pacers were gonna be like just demolished every game, blowouts. So I don't think nobody wants to watch a blowout. Those aren't fun. I think what Tyrese Haliburton has been doing these playoffs, just like bringing their team within possessions of winning the game close and doing that, and then what he did in game one, winning it, is going to bring huge like numbers, and then I guarantee you, game two will be a lot bigger and more viewerships.
I like that take actually, because
I
I
could
see what you're getting at.
Because dude, game one, I think they were like plus 300 or 400 favorites, or I mean underdogs.
Well, the whole game, I saw this, and I am confident that this is true. Um, the Thunder led in every minute of the game, and the Pacers led for point 0.3.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean it like you said earlier, the Pacers are winning in a magical way. Like I don't understand, and I love the comment that people are making about it, where they are saying once like Nemhard made that crazy shot where he went like he basically crossed up, I think it was Shea, and then hit the like tough bucket over him to bring it like within 7 or something like that. And people are saying like that was the moment that everyone at home that was watching knew what was about to happen, except for the Thunder and the fans at home. But everyone at home knew exactly what was about to happen, and that ball was going to end up favoring the Pacers for some reason.
yeah. So I mean, I even made a bet that the Pacers or either team, it was like either team, it was like plus 6,000. I just put a little bit of money on it that either team would get 19 plus steals, and that would be the record for an NBA Finals. I think the Celtics hold it. And dude, game one, I thought they were gonna hit it because they had 14 steals. I remember watching the first, second quarter. The Thunder were active on defense. Their hands were everywhere, swatting everything. The Pacers were just turning everything over, and it was just crazy that they came back and like you said, with point 0.3 seconds they led.
Yeah, this team is definitely hard to put away. But one adjustment the Thunder made that I really did not like was taking Hartenstein out of the starting lineup and going with the Case and Wallace lineup instead. I don't think them having both of the bigs out there was a disadvantage for them. Because if you look at it, with Hartenstein coming off the bench, they got severely out rebounded. Yeah, they had a bunch of turnovers. They had 25. OKC had 7. But you look at rebounds, where was it? Oh, yeah. Pacers had 56, and the Thunder only had 39. They sacrificed boards early on in the game, and honestly, just throughout the entirety without playing both of their bigs at the same time, which I felt like was going to give them a really big advantage. And they've been using that lineup for quite a while now, ever since everyone's pretty much been healthy, and they've been steamrolling the league. So it was kind of silly to me that they went away from that. And in game two, I kind of hope they go back to it because, yeah, you can have them turn over the ball 25 times a game, and you guys only turn over 7, which is pretty solid, but like the boards are super important. And it's not like the Pacers have like a tenacious rebounder. The Thunder don't either, but they have a lot better ones, and they didn't utilize that properly in their lineups and matchups.
I don't really understand how the Thunder turned the Pacers over 25 times and only scored 11 points from it. Like, that's insane.
Dude, to me, I swear I saw the Pacers like throw the ball backcourt like 15 times. 100% an over exaggeration, but I feel like a couple times where I would just like look up at the TV, I would just see Tyrese Haliburton like running with his head down, going to retrieve the ball, and a backcourt being called.
Yeah, that's the thing. They drop back into a zone quicker than the defender can even get to the steal. Like before he even grabs it, he turns around and they're all just
That's funny.
it's that motor, man.
They play.
Hmm.
As far as what OKC has got to do to win 4 straight, they don't got to win 4 straight, but to win this series, they got to go back to that starting lineup, dude, with Hartenstein. I don't know why Mr. Daigneault thought it'd be
Well,
good to like, you know what, we're gonna start Casey Wallace here now. I would really like to see them to go back to the OG starting lineup. It was so good for them. They got demolished on the boards. I think that's step one. And don't lose at home anymore.
yeah, they really didn't need to use that lineup. I think just what they used that for was just to be faster because the Pacers are a fast team and everything. And when you go small like that, I mean they played small pretty much the whole year too with Chet and Hardenstein um being injured and stuff. But they really didn't need to do that because one of the ways you can beat the Pacers is out rebounding them, just because they're not that good of a rebounding team. And controlling the boards, I think, is a huge, huge advantage, especially if you're getting offensive rebounds. Second chance points are huge. I mean, just the Thunder just needed. I'm not worried about the Thunder at all. I still have them winning. It was just like nobody saw this coming.
Yeah. And like back to the rebounds thing. We're just gonna talk about rebounds for a full hour. But like offense, the Pacers only had 3 more offensive rebounds than the Thunder. But defensive rebounds, Pacers had 43 and Thunder had 29. So with the two bigs not being there, they just lacked a whole lot of second chance opportunities, and the Pacers got a bunch of them, which was kind of able to trickle down the lead there at the end. Kind of similar to what you said, Vic. I'm not really worried about the Pacers either. They're really, obviously, they're the best team in the NBA, really good at making adjustments. Let's just hope they make the right ones.
You
Not
meant
even hope.
Thunder?
It's not even that I really want them to win. It's just I want to be competitive,
You meant Thunder, right?
of course.
Okay, you said Pacers.
Hell yeah. Anyways, so Jalen Williams, Finals MVP. What do you guys think?
Bro, he got Stephen A just went off on him.
On
Did you see
J-Dub?
that?
No, I
I'm
did
Yeah.
not.
so sick of Stephen
Stephen Ain't Smith.
What do you say? I didn't see that.
I didn't watch the clip, truthfully. I just saw the headline of it. He had a lot to say. I was hoping one of you guys saw it, to be completely honest, because I'm in the same boat as Vic. I don't care for Stephen A. Smith. But if no one
Yeah,
saw
I
it, I guess
mean,
we'll move on. So there's that, GMLB family. There's that.
yeah.
Go
I'll,
watch it. Let
I'll
us
look it
know
up.
what they said.
I'll
Have you
look it up
guys
after this and I'll text you. But yeah, I mean, not to piggyback, but I don't really give a damn about Stephen A either. I think he's an idiot.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
he's dumb. Like what he was saying, like when he brought up, he was like, "There's absolutely no way on God's earth that Tyrese Haliburton is a superstar." But then Anthony Edwards did the same thing, and he's the first coming of Christ, not even the second. Just stupid.
Yeah. But I'm just like, hear me out on this, okay? How many of those Jalen Williams baskets were just like breakaway dunks on Pacers turnovers?
One that I can remember. He only had like 15 points. I was just saying, like, not from game one, like what he's about to do the rest of the series. I sense it.
Mm. You think he's gonna break out? I mean, he shot 6 for 19. That's a pretty brutal game.
Yeah, it was.
damn.
He didn't play good.
Um, he was -4, 17 points. It wasn't the greatest beginning to a playoff series. I think, if he just makes one or two more baskets, they win this game. I'm not gonna sit here and pin the entire loss on him, but I do think he definitely could have played better.
Yeah.
Um,
If he
I
hit that three,
wonder.
if he hit that three at the end, they would have won. I don't know if you remember, Shea was dribbling, got double teamed, threw it to him, and then he just bricked the three.
Mm, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. If I'm thinking of the right play, yes, I do remember that. Um, Lou Dort 5 threes though.
That's pretty. He had a sick block. I can't. I think
Dude,
it was on Matherin.
that
That
was
was where he
Oh
crazy.
was
yes.
just perfectly he jumped perfectly vertical. It's
It was
probably
on
one of the best.
Neesmith.
Oh yeah, Neesmith, dude. It was such a great contest. But like Case and Wallace as well. In 33 minutes, he shot 3 for 9 and got 2 rebounds and 1 assist. What are you doing? In 33 minutes, he did that. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. I understand he's
Minus,
defense, but geez,
yeah. I mean,
like what the heck?
he's minus 13 in those minutes. He was the lowest plus or plus minus on the team. Him and J-Dub were the only negative players. And sorry, AJ Mitchell as well, but he only played like 4 minutes. So it doesn't really.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I was so surprised when the game started and I saw Case and Wallace instead of Hardenstein. I was just like, why? Like, is the dark magic that strong where they're getting in the minds of the coaches?
I
Like, you
think
know
we
what?
Dude,
I think we talked about on the pod whether the Pacers should go small. Or I'm sorry, whether the Oklahoma City Thunder should go small and try to beat the Pacers at their own game. And I think we said they should do it because they've done it all season with J-Dub. Like Victor said when Hartenstein and Chet were injured. I'm pretty sure we kind of leaned into this adjustment, but
I
now
think
it did not work.
I was saying I do remember that conversation like a couple of weeks ago. Like hypothetically, if the Thunder had to go small, I said I think they would be fine considering J Dub played like center at some points this year and they were still
Mhm.
like winning games. I feel like the Pacers don't even play small. They're just really fast. They go.
Mm.
Because like Siakam, as big as he is, Turner's a pretty big body. Like they don't necessarily play small. Like they have smaller guards in,
Mhm.
but like they're all so good defensively and active and run so quick. It's like fine. Like it just works for them.
Yeah.
that
But
that
I
that
just don't want
that's
the
the
Thunder doing that.
I was just gonna say that's the thing. Like, it still worked though. Like, they led the entire game and they had them within 10 or more the entire time. So like I feel it still worked. It's just that last minute and a half, 2 minutes, whatever it was, 3 minutes.
I don't know. Lost the game. Doesn't look like it worked. They're down 1-0.
Yeah. But that late, like I feel like it just came down to like the Pacers just started hitting shots. Like, I don't know.
It's true, but had they shortened the gap on rebounds a little bit more, going back to
Yeah.
that convo that I thought we were done with, could be a completely different outcome. You can do the could be, should be all day, but the only thing that's going to tell us tomorrow night, see what they throw out there. They're really spacing out these games. It's like, bro, you guys are in the city
Yeah.
already. Just play today. Why did they play today?
I think it's
And
every
then the
two
next game's
days.
not till Wednesday. It's like a 1 hour flight to OKC.
Is it really? Is it
Yeah,
that
it's
No,
very
close?
short.
I pulled that out my trunk. Probably like hour and a half.
It's short though. That and like it is very short. That's
I think
funny.
drop my mic. I think they said it's like the shortest distance traveled for like an NBA finals and like probably since they took buses in the 50s everywhere. I don't know. And there was like 8 teams.
When the Flint Tropics were in the league. That's what I always like to say.
But yeah, like I don't know. I hate how much they space out the finals.
Yeah. So whose 5 threes meant more? Here's a go around. Obi Toppin or Lou Dort? Whose
I was
threes meant more?
probably say Obi Toppin since they won.
Yeah.
Just simple answer. I
Well,
don't
the
want. I
thing is,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. No, you can keep going. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna be rude and sit here and say like debating Obi Toppin and Lou Dort up against each other is a hell of a conversation. And I don't think I can contribute much more than what I just said.
So Obi Toppin he played. Oh, I didn't realize he played 25 minutes. He played well. He did have 3 turnovers, which I know some of those were really bad, really hard to watch turnovers. But my thing is like, so Lou Dort's a starter, right? And team strategy against the Oklahoma City Thunder, like how the Nuggets got to 7 games against them, was they left Lou Dort wide open because he's just shooting absolutely putrid from three up until game one. I can't remember exactly what the percentage is, but I'm pretty sure in the postseason he was shooting like almost under 30% from three the entire postseason. So if Lou Dort is going to hit threes, I think that's a lot more impactful than Obi Toppin hitting threes, just because I don't think Obi Toppin can do it again. And I think him playing 25 minutes was just an on the fly adjustment thing. I think Lou Dort's going to, like, he is the consistent starter. So it's like, I
But
don't know, man.
but if Obi Toppin is the one who you would say is unlikely to do it again, wouldn't him doing it in game one be more impactful?
I guess I meant more. He was more impactful for game one, but I think more impactful for the series. Like, do you
Okay.
think
Yeah.
Lou Dort will stay hot, or do you think Obi Toppin will stay more hot? Because I think both of those are huge X factors for both teams.
I honestly don't think either of them are great 3-point shooters. I don't think they're going to be able to do that again.
Well, Lou Dort shot over 40% on the season, so he like is a
He
good
shot
shooter
34 or
on this
32, I mean.
regular season.
Yeah,
No, he didn't. Fact check that.
I'm looking at it right now.
Really? Am I tweaking? Huh. Maybe
If
I'm
he shot
tweaking,
over
fellas.
I
40%,
mean, I've watched a lot of Thunder games where I've just seen him brick a lot. I mean,
Fellas, maybe I'm tweaking.
because a lot of teams were giving him that Russell Westbrook treatment.
yeah, they usually like leave him open. He's usually just. I mean, he'll occasionally hit him here and there. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
He's
you're bound to hit him.
he's
He's like,
he's also coming off of that. Didn't he hit that big time three in the
Victor, he
Nuggets
shot
versus
41% this season. You're wrong.
What?
I'm looking at it.
what two websites are you guys on?
Oh, I'm looking at the
ESPN.
playoffs. I'm looking at playoff stats.
That's what I said. My point stands, fellas.
Well, I just
All right,
meant the.
so
I don't know. Huh.
I'm like, how many attempts though?
He
Average.
shot 41% on. Hold on. Let me click see all to expand the stats here. 41% on 6 attempts per game. It's a decent volume. Like he's a good shooter. Like I don't know why the narrative is he's a bad shooter right now. Lou Dort has been a good shooter the whole season. He's only been a bad shooter in the postseason up until this game. That's like the point I'm driving here is he can be a super big X factor if he starts shooting well again, compared to Obi Toppin, who's coming off the bench and may not get those same opportunities.
I
Was
see your
kind of the
point.
point I was driving.
Definitely makes sense. Like I said, dude just needs. Will he hit 5 threes again in a game? For some reason, I don't think I see it. It would be nice to be super helpful for the team, but there's some other things that also have to come into fruition in order for them to come out on top.
I would I see your point. I would still say that if Toppin can come off the bench and have more games like that, like that would be a huge X factor for the Pacers, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wonder how much they're game planning for Obi Toppin.
Well, I mean,
They're
you see,
probably not doing much more for Lou Dort either, if I'm being sure.
no, but here's the thing, though. Here's why it matters is because every team's offensive tactic or defensive tactic has been to leave Lou Dort wide open. So now, if he's going to hit them, how much more of the floor is open for Shea, who just dropped 38 points in game one? Because now we're talking a much bigger threat. If I think they'll give him one more game to see if he could do it, but let's say he does, I think they're in trouble.
Yeah, no, they definitely will be. I hope they lock that dude in the gym these past 3 days and say, "Yo, you need to do that again, but better." Can you hit 10? Do you think you hit 10 threes? No?
I'm
Okay. All
I'm
right,
calling
Kaysen, it's your turn because he didn't hit a single three the other night. So
Yeah,
He's
I'm
like,
calling it. Oh, fuck.
yeah,
Can you
you can.
hit 10 threes?
It's like
That's crazy.
it's like who's more like Andre Roberson? Is it Cason Wallace or Lou Dort? It might be Lou Dort.
More like Andre Roberson?
Yeah,
I don't think either of them are like Andre Roberson.
like a shooting guard that can't shoot.
They can both shoot. Where is this narrative coming
It's
from
like
that they can't
okay,
shoot?
can they shoot or do they just shoot? I've said this so many times about a lot of players, like Caruso. Caruso's not a shooter; he just shoots. I said that.
No,
I
but
said that a lot when he was like on the Bulls. They're like, "Oh, dude, he hit like 4 threes. He's a good shooter." I was like, "No, he just shoots. Like he's not a good shooter. Like six, like Loki's 6 3-point attempts a game is not a lot. Maybe for a role player like him, it is. But like you can shoot six threes in like 30 seconds.
I
Like
mean, yeah,
nowadays,
he's the fourth, arguably fifth option when he starts, though. So
I
I guess
think
in the
six
modern
is a
NBA it
lot.
makes sense. Yeah, I think six is for a guy who's not Shea, Jalen Williams, Chet, and occasionally Hartenstein. I think that's still kind of a lot. I wonder how
yeah,
many.
but
Maybe I'll
but
just
those
ask.
guys aren't. But those guys aren't pulling threes like that much.
But the thing is, too, is like I guarantee you that's probably a lot of his shot diet is from coming from the three if he's taking six. Because like Miles said, he's fourth, sometimes fifth option. If he's that in the ranking of the options, dude, his shot diet's probably either going to be a lot of almost all threes, or he's going to have maybe one or two extra shots that aren't threes.
I don't know. Last game he took 9. Nine's a lot.
Yeah.
Nine's a lot for anybody in a game. I feel like 6 is a lot more like common to see a player shoot than like 9. If someone's shooting 9 threes in a game, they're probably hot or severely wide open,
Yeah,
which he
that was
was.
probably the case. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. They gave, like I said, they gave him the Westbrook PJ Tucker treatment.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. So Shea dropped 38. Shout out that Pacers defense. How many does he have to drop to win?
I
40.
think 38 was a fine number. He could have had less, but like, I don't know, dude. They just got to stay locked in for the full game. Some guys got to step up. J Dub did not play great, and like Case and Wallace did not play that great. I think they're gonna turn around. It was just one game. I'm not. I think a lot of people kind of lose their minds a lot after game one. Not saying that any of you guys did, but like it was a one-off this game.
So we're still counting the Pacers out.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say we're beating the.
I mean,
We're like leaning worse.
yeah, I'm not gonna let game one like switch my mind that I think the Thunder are gonna win. Like that's like you can't change your mind after game one and say like, oh, I think they're winning now. No, they didn't. They weren't leading at all the whole game. They led for 0.3 seconds. Thunder were up
Dude, they
15.
said,
Like a couple minor adjustments. I'm not gonna change my mind on that. That'd be ultimate glaze and stupid.
unfortunately, I have changed my mind after watching the Celtics Knicks series on that one. I'm not going to lie to you. Because you would think if you were up 20 the entire game, you would eventually win the series. Well, fortunately, Jalen Brunson had other ideas about that. So
Hold,
I will refrain
hold
from
on.
that. I will not switch my argument that I think the Pacers will now win, but it has severely changed the way I look at this series. Fundamentally changed the entire foundation of what I saw in this series.
Yeah. Well, the Thunder didn't miss 100 threes across 2 games.
Yeah, it's,
Hate to bring that up, but
there's a salt shaker back there. Just go ahead and throw that in my wound. Thank you.
it's
My
Valdo.
mic
No
still
lead is
good?
safe.
No, yeah, I think I changed my mind when they beat the Cavs because at that point it was like, okay, they beat the number one team in the East. So now I'm not gonna count them out completely against the Knicks. And then when they beat the Knicks, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna count them out against the Thunder either. There's a video of another basketball creator that was covering like this series, and he's wearing like a Milwaukee jersey, and then he's wearing a Cavs jersey, and then he's wearing a Knicks jersey, and in every single one, he's just like everything was a fluke, and then you just watch the game winners, like all of the stuff, and then it gets to the Thunder one, and he's just sitting in his chair, like leaned back, as like he's like, watch, he's like Tyrese right here, he's like everyone in the gym is clueless. We know, don't we? And he hits it, and he didn't even react because yeah, I mean, I can't count them out anymore. It's impossible to at this point.
I kind of want to take the Pacers. I don't think I'm being brash on it either. I kind of want to switch and take the Pacers.
You definitely can. No one's saying you can't.
No
We
take
can't call
backs.
we can't call cap on Daniel either because he hasn't been here in forever. So yeah, you're right, dude.
Daniel, you gonna let him talk to you like that? Your first
No,
day
he's
I'm not
back.
wrong. You
First
guys
day
are
back in
acting
the
like I'm
office.
wrong
But
here.
but think about my track record. Would do you think I have been like, oh no, like Pacers are getting swept? I feel like if I go back and find some old clips of what I thought the Pacers were going to do in this playoffs, I probably
From
would have
last
said
year?
like, no,
Maybe from last year, not this year.
no, but I don't know. I think like obviously I didn't expect them to make the finals, but yeah, at this point it's just at this point like to say that because and I'm not saying you're saying this, Kevin, but there does exist people that are like, oh, game one, okay, like black magic, whatever, luck or whatever. Now it's time for Thunder to like lock in and just do exactly what they were supposed to do. Um, but I think that's like a wrong turn on this, and I think that it's wrong to assume that the Pacers are like out of this completely.
I didn't
They're
say they're
definitely
out of it
no,
completely,
no,
but
no.
if the
I'm not saying
Pacers
you
go
did.
up 3-0 and I say, okay, they're probably going to win, that's valid because it makes total sense. But
I
like, I never said they were completely out of it. Have always said they have a very good chance to win this series. I gave them about a 40% chance to win this series. Thunder
Did we do that?
60%.
Did we do that for this series? I can't remember. I remember
We
us
did
doing
not.
that,
This was a
but I don't think.
conversation I had with someone else.
Okay.
We never gave our predictions for the series because we
Yeah, I
skipped a
was gonna
week
say because we skipped that week. Yeah,
because we
we
did skip
probably
that
should
week.
have addressed that. No, we're never addressing that.
Never
We're just gonna
again.
not address that. Yeah.
But going
Oh,
into it, I did think like Thunder 60% chance to win, Pacers 40. I didn't rule them out
Yeah.
at all. They made it this far. They were hooping everybody.
hmm.
There
Your
was even Pacers
response?
fans. There was even Pacers fans I knew that gave them less of a chance than I did.
Yeah.
Not really
Yeah.
because they don't exist. They do now.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
wonder
think
how many conversions they've had join their
I'll go
fan base.
I'll go walk around town right now. I won't see a single Reggie Miller jersey.
Really? I think I've seen Reggie Miller jerseys
I
before.
don't I don't think you have, dude. I'm speaking for you here.
I
Yeah.
saw a
I
sub
mean,
I saw a
go ahead.
Sabonis jersey.
Oh, I thought you were like, I saw Sabonis.
No.
That's it.
Yeah. I've seen Paul George jerseys.
Yeah.
Oh, our good friend Luke has a Pacers George Hill jersey that he broke out for one of the Pacers games. That one was pretty tight, not gonna
Doesn't
lie.
count. He was an IUPUI guy. He's hometown.
Okay, who knows that though? I don't even think he knew that. He knows ball. That'd be crazy.
That's hometown.
But yeah, fair, fair. Um, so yeah. Uh, let's just go around the panel here.
I was
I
gonna say, are
think
we
I'm
gonna
gonna go. Yeah, let's just do our prediction.
close it out with the predicts?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Pacers in 7.
I'm gonna go with the opposite. I'm gonna say OKC in 7.
Before this series kicked off, I said this and I'm sticking to it. If the Pacers win game two. Like what I had said was if they win game one and game two, they're for sure winning the finals. And I'm sticking to that. So I'm gonna say Pacers in six. That's what I'm feeling. Pacers in
Yeah,
six.
if the Pacers win game one, two, three, and four, then they'll probably win the
Yeah.
finals. That's what it sounded like. I know
No,
that's
no,
not
no.
what you meant,
Yeah.
but
It
that's what
is
it
what he
sounded.
meant.
You're like, yeah,
Like
the
in
Pacers
my
just pulled off the most improbable finals win we might have seen ever.
the the full
And you're
statement.
like,
Yeah.
but if they win game two as well, then I'll take them. Like, come on.
Yeah, and the
You're asking them to do the impossible twice.
best
I
part was he
guess,
said
yeah.
he said this before.
No, because
Yeah,
like
not on here.
Yeah.
before this series started,
We
what
didn't
I
hear it.
had like the full statement of what I said was like they have to win two games. Like they can't go back and forth with the Thunder because then they get to game seven and then they lose. That was kind of like the whole statement of what I had said.
Oh yeah,
But I
To
even
who?
said
though
Who'd you
if they
say it to?
He said it to his cats.
Ridgeway.
Okay.
But if they can go back and forth or sorry, if they don't go back and forth and they win game one and game two, then they're for sure winning the finals, which is like still not a guarantee, right? Like them winning two games up two means really nothing because they still can definitely lose at home, and then it's the Thunder with the rain with the MVP. So like that, but my statement, I don't know, my statement still holds. Never expected them to actually win game one. I think no, okay, that's not true. I like thought maybe a little bit. Whatever. Game one, game two. I see Pacers in six. Victor, you go.
yeah, our answers were 15 seconds. Yours
You dragged it.
Uh,
Okay.
was
Pacers in
Big Chief.
seven,
Was Big
Thunder
Chief
in
think?
seven. Pacers seven, Thunder seven, Pacers six. Vic, what is it?
my gut was always telling me Thunder in six.
That's seven.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
You
seven.
just know it's seven.
You heard it here first.
Oh
My head hurts.
man.
I think we all lost our minds.
Yeah. That week off, man. Week off work. Forgot
Guess
how to
we lost the shit
podcast.
Oh. Now finals MVP predictions. Can Spicy P
Tyrese.
do it?
Mm.
Well, if I'm picking the Thunder,
Uh,
I'm gonna have to.
yeah.
I'm at Shea.
Yeah.
Even if
I
J Dub
don't,
plays better, the NBA won't let him win over Shea.
I'm still gonna say it's Haliburton just because the NBA. Well, I guess what happened with Jalen Brown and Tatum, maybe not. I'm still gonna go Haliburton though.
Did who won the Eastern
Siakam.
or no? No shit. I meant last year for Boston Eastern
Jalen Brown.
Conference. So he won both Eastern
Mhm.
and Finals.
I
Okay.
believe
I was
so.
Yeah, he
Kev,
did.
am I right on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, I mean Siakam needs another 40 ball for a Finals MVP because Tyrese just hit a game winner.
Not really. I mean,
Well,
Tyrese like low key outperformed Siakam last series and still won it. He had a
Yeah, I feel like
30 point triple double with no turnovers to close out the game, and he didn't win the MVP.
I was gonna say Halliburton was like that close to winning it last series. I think he'll for sure win it in the finals.
the votes were 5-4. Siakam.
Wow.
Shout out Spicy P.
The Beyblade.
Yeah, if Pacers win it somehow, he does have a good chance at winning it again. I just think that after like all the memes and stuff coming out, I don't know if you guys saw the video about how he thought it was him winning.
Yeah.
I think this time around it's gonna be Haliburton if they
Yeah.
do win.
It's like the Drewski video when he played at the celebrity game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Saw those two videos like in like a same Instagram dump probably 15 times that night before I went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. So two Pacers, two Thunder. Um I guess I'll just end the pod since we're coming to a close here with this. Fellas, what's a truth that each of you guys try to avoid, but deep down you know is real
In life or in the NBA?
in life? Let's get to know our hosts here for a second before we close out.
That's probably one of the most like invasive questions that you would never want released on camera.
I know. I chat GPT. This is literally what I typed in. The most introspective questions you can possibly ask someone. And that's what it said. I'm just playing. We don't have to answer it, but yeah, I just wanted to close it out with something funny because we are coming to an end here. Does anybody have any final thoughts? Um, any predictions on who the next Knicks head coach will be before we go?
Assistant.
Yep.
You
That's
think
been the thing.
assistant?
Yeah, it's just been the thing. Like people are too lazy to look for a coach.
Yeah.
Not even like it's too lazy. He's already involved in the system. It's a
Mhm.
decent move, but I just think whoever the assistant is, the main assistant, it will just get the promotion.
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
That's crazy.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh
I'm
man.
just happy that Tibbs is gone, man. For all those fans
He's
that
not
saw me
gone.
go on my rants, huh?
He's not gone.
He's pretty gone.
He's still
What?
president.
Is he?
He's
I thought they completely gave him the boot.
Oh, really? I thought he was still president, just fired from coaching.
Was he ever the president?
Yeah, he did both.
Didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either. Huh. I was gonna say Mike Brown out of the woodwork. Get ready.
Oh, wait.
Mike Brown would be decent.
Wait, did Victor drop a stat? He's backtracking again. The
Yeah, he
Victor
is.
special.
so Tibbs is gone.
Yeah, so Tibbs is well, I mean, hold on, he's researching. He might be right.
No,
I
it
know
might be. But
I know
what I was
Popovich does that. Or he did do that. Now he's not the
yeah.
coach anymore, but
But what I was gonna say is I'm just happy that I'm watching like the Knicks fans like going back over the Pacers series and they're like watching all the clips and there's this one creator that like just like slams his desk and gets so mad that that Tibbs never trained the Knicks on how to cover a pick and pop. And he's just like, what are you? He's like yelling at Josh Hart, like he's like, what are you doing?
yeah, we had a full on like 20-minute discussion about how the Knicks were in drop coverage for pretty much one of the best shooting playoff teams in the NBA. So, yeah,
Time for him to hit it.
I'm still waiting for Vic to tell us if Tibbs was the president.
I think he's looking to see. Yeah, never mind.
No, he's not. For I remember. I thought I remember seeing something that he was a president. Maybe he was a president for a different team. I guess I'm tripping. It's Leon Rose.
Were you
Hmm.
thinking of Greg Popovich? Just kidding.
No, I don't know.
What the hell?
What the Hallie?
I had to get one in before we ended the pod. You know, I had
What
to
the
get one
Halliburton?
in. We can't go the whole pod and not say that. All right, let's wrap up here. We got stuff to do. Kevin's got an arena football game to attend.
Starting quarterback tonight.
Do you know what the team name is of the teams
The
you're going to see?
It's the Fisher's Freight versus the Massachusetts Pirates.
Dang. Fisher's Freight is tough for an arena football
Yeah.
team.
So is the Iowa City Steamrollers.
That's a
That's another team.
mouthful.
It is. I stuttered. Probably didn't even know what I said.
All right, well, GMLB family, we're going to wrap up here. This was a quick episode. I don't exactly. Vic, what did we clock at? Is this a quick one?
It was about
Probably
an
like,
hour.
45.
okay.
Oh, no, it's an
Yeah.
hour. Yeah, 52.
Dang, this went fast, honestly. But GMLB family, we appreciate you guys coming back, even though we missed a week last week. Um, I will not elaborate, and really, there's no reason why we. I mean, there kind of is. We just kind of missed. So forgive us for that. We don't take accountability for GMLB. You know, this is the company, this is the higher ups, the board that's been directing us. So, of course, GMLB family, if you want to watch the full length podcast, we're on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. If you want to watch our short form content, we are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat at GMLB Pod. If you want to email the show, we read all emails on the show. That's gmlbfans@gmail.com. With that being said, let's go Fisher's Freight. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.